NYRA Bets is the best play in online horse racing and betting. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions. Sign up now, NYRABets.com.
Mike Welsch coming to you from Gulfstream Park with the Pegasus World Cup Report, brought to you by NYRABets.com. You can bet any place, anywhere, anytime on NYRABets.com. And don't forget the sign-up bonus, bet 200, get 200 if you sign up in time to bet on the Pegasus World Cup. We're now 2 days away from the big event. Post positions are all drawn. The horses are all here on the grounds. They all went out to the track this morning for various forms of exercise. Some stiffer than others, but Gunrunner went to the starting gate for a schooling session. He schooled in the paddock yesterday. I believe he's going back to school again today. Look terrific out there once again this morning. Shop Azteca went out to gallop a little earlier this morning in the dark and was a little more subdued. Got a little rank in traffic yesterday, but had a quieter morning today. So the cast is all here, and now it's just a matter of waiting out the next 48 hours and getting over to the starting gate. Some anxious moments for some, especially trainer Steve Asmussen, who has the added burden of saddling the odds-on favorite, who tonight will be elected as the horse of the year heading into Pegasus. I'm just going to take a quick rundown of the field, just give my assessment of all 12 starters in the race, starting with Singing Bullet. He's drawn on the rail. A pretty good post position here with that short run to the first turn. He's trained well. Going to put a line through his last race after stumbling at the start, but he's still a notch or two below this company, and he'd really have to run the race of his life and get lucky here to impact the final result in this field. West Coast breaks from post position 2, comes off a nice sharp workout in California prior to shipping locally. Finished third in the Breeders' Cup. Didn't really have much of an excuse behind Gunrunner that day. I thought he was out in the best part of the racetrack. But this is a young horse who's apt to be improving with every single start. Looked good in his last work, so I think he could be a significant factor with the right trip on Saturday. Stellar Wind is next, the lone filly in the race. She's making the final start of her career. She's going to stud as is Gunrunner right after the race. Stellar Wind training well the last few weeks. I was a little surprised when I heard the news that she was going to run in the race, but trainer Chad Brown said he wouldn't run her if he didn't think she was doing well, and she has looked like she's progressed nicely through her recent works. But again, a realistic long shot in this field. The horse that's not a long shot is Shop Azteca, and this horse has been training just outstanding over at Gulfstream Park West. Question mark, 1.1 1/8, but he looks like a much stronger horse to me just from workouts than he was going into the Breeders' Cup Mile, a dirt mile, and he ran a super race that day, just getting beat while racing against the grain of the racetrack. I think if anybody can upset Gunrunner, it would be Shop Azteca, especially if he could get loose on the lead. Collected is next, Collected second in the Breeders' Cup. Had a perfect trip that day. I thought he had Gunrunner measured at the top of the stretch, but proved no match. Obviously, he's going to have to move forward a little bit to catch up with Gunrunner, but he is well posted. He's coming off a quick work of his own. I expect to see him forwardly placed throughout, and obviously he's one of the major win players in the race. Gunavera is next. Now, he's never been much of a workhorse, has not worked that well, I thought, coming up to this race, but we've seen that from him before. He does love this racetrack. He is a closer in a field that does have some pace, so he wouldn't probably surprise anybody if he came running late for a minus share, but I don't see him as a win threat, although he does have Louis Saez aboard. Louis won 7 races here Wednesday, so it's always good to have a hot hand like that in the saddle. Fear the Cowboy coming off a grade 3 win here. He was one of the last ones to make it into the race. Another with a good closing style that could help him get a piece, but as a win threat, I doubt it in here. War Story, another horse with that late running style. He's been trained to be taken back and come on at the end by trainer George Navarro. That's exactly what the plans are going to be, and he's doing well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him come running late for a minor share. Toast of New York, had one start in 3 or 4 years. Amazing that they've even gotten him back to the races after all that time, but he would be a surprise if he impacted the final result. Gunrunner, obviously next. The post position, the big question mark here. It's his race to lose. Horse is doing terrific. His last maintenance work here is very sharp as he was going into the Breeders' Cup. So, barring some trouble, the race for him, the key to the race will be that opening furlong into that short run to the first turn. Seeking the Soul is next. In great form right now, but the post position's going to hurt him. I expect to see them try to take him back and make one run from off the pace. And on the extreme outside, great expectations. He made an easy lead in a slow pace to win his last in California. That's not going to happen here. Going to be interesting to see if they try to go early from the outside or also take back. That's an awful tough post position 12. So that's the field. Just have to wait it out now. 48 hours to go. My colleagues, Jay Primman and Marty McGee, will be here tomorrow with one final look at Pegasus World Cup. And again, we have the great coverage from all our reporters here at DRF, continuing right through race time here Saturday afternoon on DRF.com.